Okay, as we announced earlier, we have our two fastest cars and drivers from the practice session earlier today, and they'll be starting out front for Sunday's 47th annual AAA 400 Drive for Autism NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race here at Dover International Speedway. Our fastest in practice this morning was Kevin Harvick, the driver of the number 4 Jimmy John Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing, 165.145 miles per hour. Kevin won the fall race here last year in Dover to advance to the next round of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Led 355 out of 400 laps here last year. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was our second fastest. He drives the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Dale's fastest lap was 164.707 miles per hour, and he has won here at Dover before. I believe it was the first race back after 9/11 when he went to Victory Lane. So I'm going to ask Kevin first. Kevin, this track last year, you won when it was crunch time. Certainly now you're in a little bit of a different situation, but I know you would like to get another win here at Dover. And what's your outlook for Sunday's race?
Yeah, the outlook's been a lot different. Just coming to this racetrack since I've been at SHR, this has been one of our really good racetracks. We've had a little bit of bad luck in the first couple times we've been here, but obviously it all came together last time in the fall, and the car was really fast when we unloaded for practice. So, having that first pit stall definitely helps here, and looking forward to just the challenge of this particular racetrack. Just running every lap is hard. To do it the same twice, and that is a lot of fun, and the guys have done a great job in prepping the cars and hit on some things that we like, and it's worked well over the past few years.
And Dale, this is a racetrack where you have won before, and certainly you'd like to get that first win for the 2016 season. Just talk about how the number 88 car performed in practice today and your outlook for Sunday's race here at the Monster Mile.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some practice tomorrow to get to work on the race setup a little bit. We just ran in qualifying trim today. The car was not real close when we come off the trailer, but they made some great adjustments and got some good speed out of it, got it real comfortable. And I like this track. It is challenging to run the way you want to run every lap after lap, and that's a fun challenge. It's a challenge to really get the balance of the car throughout the day and chasing the track a little bit, and so it's a tough place to run well at consistently every time you come here. But I definitely love the banks, and the size of the track's pretty good too.
Take questions now for Kevin or Dale. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless mic. Let's start with the gentleman up here on the front row. I believe he's from Salisbury. We could get him the mic, please. Thank you.
Question for both. Matt Pensick, WBOC Salisbury. With the forecast in the weather today, did that change your approach to practice, knowing that there was the possibility that your practice time could be the qualifying time?
Yeah, I think that definitely changes the approach. That was, what the forecast looked like all week, and we just decided to come and qualify and trim. So those guys made that, Rodney and those guys made that decision pretty early, and I'd say about midweek, to practice that way.
Dale, any comment on that?
Yeah, I figured that they looked at the weather, and we weren't even sure we were going to get all the practice in, so everybody in the field was going to make sure to get a good hard lap down if they could.
Let's go back in the back here. He's got a question here. Bob Pockers has one. Go ahead.
Bob Pockers, CSPN. For both you guys, obviously we saw a couple of cars hit a wall without a safer barrier in the first practice. They've added safer barrier here to the inside of turn 3, but it seems like there's a little bit of hesitation to do it on the front stretch because of the groove. So I was curious what your thoughts are on that. Thank you.
Look, we put safer barriers in the groove at Darlington, and it's 2.5 cars wide, so there's really no excuse not to have it, in my opinion. The SMI and all the IC tracks have laid them on most of the outside walls, and there's just the cars have hit in that spot, and there's just no excuse not to have them there. We don't wear our helmets and Hans devices for the impacts that are prepared for. We wear those things for the instances when, those one-off things can happen like happened today. So there's no excuse not to have it there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't add any more to that. I agree. We've added it to Bristol and Martinsville and all kinds of tight little tracks, and it would alter the line slightly here, but we go pretty fast here, especially in qualifying trim. I mean, I'm in the gas center of the corner, full throttle, not lifting. So it'd be a hard lick. And this place, you hit one wall and you slide down, you hit another. So you're going to get a couple licks there in some of those instances that aren't going to be a lot of fun.
Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Junior, you said that you really like the balance on the car. This seems like the happiest you've been in practice, even though didn't seem to have the time because of the wreck. What's your outlook really for Sunday? I mean, is this like one of the best cars that you've brought to Dover?
It's hard to say. I really, don't take a lot of stock in Friday when everything can change and the race setup could be quite different. A lot of guys can find some speed tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, it was really hooked up for that lap we had, and I think we were ahead of Kevin on the Dartfish going into 3. I pushed up off of 4 real bad and had to lift on that exit, but the car was really, really good. I just didn't drive 3 and 4 exactly right. And hopefully, what we learned, we unloaded thinking we needed to be in a certain area as far as the wedge trace goes, and we were a little bit off, quite a bit off. So we learned some stuff, even though we didn't run any race trim today. We did learn a little bit about where our balance needs to be. So that'll help us zero it in tomorrow, but I expect the competition to change quite a bit for tomorrow, and we'll see where we are.
Other questions for Kevin or Dale? Gentlemen, thank you for coming in, and good luck this weekend.